Alright, hello, hello. We're gonna get a good flight going here. We're gonna be going a little bit of a longer one here. I'm probably actually gonna go do some other stuff while this runs for the cruise section. I just screwed that up. Please don't screw that up. Okay. So let's check 350 is good. So we'll check, make sure it didn't screw me there. Alright, good. And then, so this is gonna be, again, emulating a real flight. It's actually just landed, so. Yeah, they don't say what gate, so we'll figure out the gate when we get there. I don't know what runway there's going to be too, but we'll be alright here, so. Let's see where we're going here. Alright, so I'm actually running the CRJ-9. I just bought the 9s, so, get the CRJ-9 now. Make sure we get departure out fine. Let's make sure they're actually running off of 4. I don't think they are running off of 4. It looks like they're running off of 1-3, so I'm gonna change that to 1-3. Alright, and then we'll go depart off of, we'll do 95. So 95, let's see. LaGuardia 7 off of 1-3. That's funky. Why is that funky like that? Let's see. Nothing's 1-3. Nothing's 1-3, I think. Looks better. We'll do that. Make sure it's still running off of the gate, or else it will put us at the runway. Okay, good. So yeah, they run off 1-3, so we'll do that. Let me change that up. So gonna be the nothing's 3. Nothing's off of 1-3, and then we have the VLA for 3-0 left. Throw in an approach in here real quick. What's it say it's going into? 3-0 left, so let's see. ILS 3-0 left, let's put that in there, so expect that. Alright, let's check, make sure this is good. Let's check the altitude. Altitude's still at 350. Fuel looks good. Yep, weather in St. Louis looks fine, so I've got a little extra fuel on there for this length of flight, but we'll be good there, I think. Alright, let's go ahead and try to see if that set it up correctly. What is going on with my stuff not going into full screen? It's being quite obnoxious. Alright, let's just continue with what I was doing. Having full screen issues. I have to use an app on Steam to get full screen for Stormark's full screen windowed. I'd like them to do native support for that so I can get rid of it. Quick reference guide. So we'll go through origination checks. Alright, let's catch up with chat here. Hello there, Alistair. How's it going, Puzzlo? How's it going there, Sergeant? Good to see you. Alvar, how are you? Thumbnail's a bit misleading. Why is the thumbnail a bit misleading? I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't even got to that yet, so. Why don't you relax? We haven't even got to putting the streams together there, guy. You're new here, it takes time to set up the stream, so why don't you just relax or see you later. Pick one. Really don't care. Let's see what even you're on. You're on YouTube. Yeah, okay, that's called the default thumbnail, jackass. That comes on before I have time to change it. So either chill out or screw. I don't care. I really don't. You know, I get this comment all the time. You could change the thumbnail. Yeah, I understand that. That's how the program works. Do you know how Restream works? Do you not know how Restream works? Then I don't know why you're putting your input in there, guy. Pain in the ass. I'm telling you. Quite aggravating to have people repeat the same shit over and over and again who don't understand how setting up the stream works. The way this works is I have to launch the game with Restream. Then I have to go back and I have to edit everything. That's how it works. Alright. So maybe don't talk if you don't know what you're talking about. Maybe that, huh? Alright, we'll continue through. Yeah, it happened yesterday, Sergeant. So it's got to be in your end, Sergeant. If it happens a couple times, I'd say, how's it going there, Bigro, how are ya? Am I on TikTok and Kick? TikTok, not Kick. I stopped posting stuff on TikTok because for some reason TikTok's not putting me in the algorithm, and I get like 5 views on a video that used to get 10,000. So I don't know what the deal is. What are we dude? What are we waiting for? I'm setting up the stream. I just said what I'm doing. I have to launch the game, then I have to go back and I have to set up all the streams, and then I have to play. Okay, that's the hierarchy there. So when you chill out, huh? Jesus Christ. There's plenty of other people to go watch if you're not having a good time. See you later. Trust me, I wish it was easier to set up the stream than it is. They don't make it work well with Restream because they don't want you using Restream. They want you to just spawn on their architecture. So either Twitch wants you to stream on Twitch only, or they want you to stream on YouTube only. And so you use a third-party software to stream on both of them. It's a pain in the ass because neither of them want that to happen. Alright, so I have a toga button in there now, so that should help. Alright, let's go ahead and we got the 900, the CRJ 900, which is correct. Alright, let's get rid of track IR for the moment. I have to still get that going. Alright, and we'll go through origination checks here. So let's go ahead. Cold dark airplane. Really shouldn't be much different with the CRJ 900. Except the max takeoff weight's different. They just put a plug in there, upscale the engines a little bit, that's it. Alright, do I have origination checks? I do, okay. Get ready for the origination checks. Alright, aircraft, cold and dark, open. Alright, let's go ahead and get started here. So circuit breaks closed, nose wheel steering switch is going to be off. Hydraulic pumps are off. Landing gear levers down. Flight spoilers are 0. Flaps are 0. Radar is off. ADG manual is stowed. Emergency flap is normal. Battery master switch is coming on. Alright, battery master switch is coming on. I'm going to run a quick fire test here. Fire test is good. Alright, we're going to go ahead. We're going to look at the DC, make sure we have 22 volts or greater. We do, 22. All right, good. Back to status page. We're going to go ahead and open up the door for the APU. We should get APU in byte. SOV valve open. APU door is open, and we can spin. Spin on the APU. Alright, APU's almost up. Alright, APU is lovely, lovely IRS. Let's make sure we go to, let's see, options. I want realistic IRS. Alright, realistic IRS. Alright, IRS is both of them going? Good. Let's do position initialization. We are at KLGA-KSTL. We'll go grab GPS 1, put GPS 1 in. Alright, lovely, lovely, lovely. Alright. Go to flight plan. We're going to go LaGuardia. We're going to be going to STL. STL, there we go. Alright, good, good, good. Let's get set up here. So, 78 passengers. Fuel, 7,610. 610. Why are we in kilograms? I gotta fix that. Let's see, options. We want to be in pounds. C is fine. Kilopascals, dual risk. That's good, 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 good. Save options. Are we back into pounds? We're in pounds. All right, so I gotta fix this now. All right, 14,782, 14,782, 14,782 pounds there. 78 passengers still should be the same. And what are we looking at for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, let's say 1,300 for cargo. Just estimate it's fine. All right, cruising altitude, are gonna be at 350. Alright, that's VNAV. We just shoot through VNAV. Okay. That's good. And we'll execute that. We'll go departure arrival. We're going to be taking off of runway 13. I got to look at the chart. So let's pull LaGuardia's. Actually, we're doing nothings. We're doing nothings. Never mind. We're not doing LaGuardia 7. We're doing nothings 5. Alright, we'll execute that. Let's go back to departure arrival. We're going to be going to St. Louis. What did I write down? Please say I wrote that down. I did not. VLAS. VLAS 2. Off of 30 left. 30 left. Right there. VLAS 2, 30 left. Let's go to moods and we'll execute that. Alright, good. Let's go ahead and grab that flight plan. And we'll start inputting legs here. Right, so assault, and then we have a turn out of assault, and we're going to copes. So let's see, assault, vector, and then copes. So COPES. Again, the database is still out, so I don't know if we might get some that aren't in the database, and I'll just fix it. Bird. Y. R. DD bird. Same with 2 A's. Alright, burning. PSYKO. You know if the music's too loud or if it's good. Bubba. With 2 A's. Hidden. Alright, let's see. MIE. Let's see, what's the VLA? Okay, VLA, so just VMIE. That's MIE. VHP. This might have the new database in it because it's probably the later plane that they added. So that'd be nice if this has the new database. Akbar, VLA, VLA. There we go. Execute that. All right, flight plans then. Beautiful. All right, let's go to... we'll shut off the airports on the nav aid. We'll go over to the flight plan. We'll copy the active from one to the other. And I put in runway 13. We're good there. Let's go to legs. Let's go to legs. And we're good there. Excellent. All right, let's continue down through the initialization checklist. Emergency equipment check, gear and safety pins on board, airplane documents check, hydraulic 3A. I've not checked hydraulic 3A yet, which is fine. We're not using any hydraulics as of yet, so that's fine. 3A 3000 PSI, that is good. FMS initialization complete, cabin inspection accomplished, walk around is complete. All right, internal external pre-flight checks complete, pedal, seat, and harness adjust, crew oxygen mask. Let's go ahead and do our mask checks. I haven't done them in a while. All right, mask. Want to get the light, and we'd hear that in the mic. All right, that's so crew oxygen is good. Audio warning panel is, I'm not going to worry about. Electrical power panel, let's go up and we'll look. Electrical power panel is checked. Fire detection is complete. External light panel is checked. Let's see, fuel panel is going to be checked. We'll turn the pumps on while we're there. Bleed air panel, we're going to go PAX and recirc is coming on. APU panel is checked. Star panel is checked. Hydraulic panel is checked. ELT arm reset. And then emergency lights are armed. Cabin pressure is checked. We'll just set landing field elevation for here in case we have to come back. So we can depressurize. I'm not going to worry about ice detector test. Windshields we'll put to low, and then we'll turn the probes on, probe heat on. Stall test, first flight of the day. We'll go ahead and we'll do it. Pusher, shaker. All right, pusher and shaker are good. All right, nose wheel steering's off, clock set, EFIS control panel check, instrument panels checked, ICAST and standby instruments check. Anti-skid test, we're not going to worry about MLG overheat test. Let me do the MLG overheat test. So that's just essentially what that's doing is that's if you were to have an overheat, it would warn you. So it's testing to make sure the warning system will tell you that you're going to overheat. Upper pedestal, we'll just verify it real quick. Upper pedestal is checked. Thrust quadrant is checked. All right, avionics check. Trims, let's get that going. Trim. So we have 7.1 for our trim, which is going to be different because we have a longer airplane, so longer lever arm. So where we'd normally probably be a little bit different on this, we're at 7.1. 7.1 and in the green for trim. Yaw dampers engaged. Source panel select normal. Lower pedestal is checked. Passenger signs and no smoking is on. Landing elevation is checked. Boost pumps are on. Altimeter, I gotta grab ATIS. Let's do that.
LaGuardia Airport information, Kilo 170.
No, I'm good, thanks. I'm good, Sergeant, thank you.
Visibility 10.
Oh, that's cool. You used to push those up. Yeah, sorry for getting grouchy there, but it just gets old. I literally hear the same thing every day. It's like, you know, oh, you got to change the thing. It's like, I know. It's the way the system is set up for YouTube, and it drives me nuts. 3006. Okay. We are in kilopascals. Let's change that. And inches of mercury. All right, there we go. Why are we still in kilopascals? I could change it over there. Here, just change it over here. I'll just change it here. All right, there we go.
Temperature.
Ground Endeavor
3006.
ready to copy IFR clearance to St. Louis.
Endeavor 4922 is cleared to St. Louis Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 13 climb and maintain 13,000 feet.
13,000.
Departure frequency is 120.4 squawk 0042.
0042. All right, 0042.
Endeavour 49er22 cleared to St. Louis Airport is filed. Takeoff runway 13 climb and maintain 13,000 feet. Departure on 120 decimal for squawk 0042.
Endeavour 49er22 readback correct. Contact ground on 121 decimal 7. Good day.
I'll put a runway heading. I'll brief the departure a little bit. Alright, that's all set. Altimeter is set. FMS IRS. IRS is finally set. Radios and nav set for departure. Takeoff brief, and we'll do that in a second when I shut this guy up here. Let's just do this. Alright, that's he's quiet now. Let's go ahead and look up the departure here. We're doing nothings. Let's grab that. Gotta remember to go ahead, and we're doing nothing's 5 right here. Alright, nothing's 5. Alright, turbojet only, radar required. We have it. GPS, we have it. RNAV 1. Strict compliance track, that's good. Alright, takeoff runway 13. We're going to be climbing on heading 134. Intercept the course of 179 to Kiwi. We want to be above 2,500 at Kiwi and at less than 220 knots. At nothing above 3,000, less than 220 knots. Canarsie 5,000, 230 knots or less. Assault, Colt's Neck, and then we're off. Alright, so that's pretty simple there. So that's that. If we have any emergencies before 80 knots, we'll stop on the runway. After 80 knots, we'll only stop for critical events, engine failure, fire, etc. Thrust reverser deployment. We'll come back and we plan on landing on runway 13 or 22. Alright, that's good. Ground services. Alright, start closing up some doors here. So we'll go to the doors page. Doors page, and we'll start closing up doors here. Alright. Alright, we're all closed up there.
All passengers are aboard.
Ladies and gentlemen, on
Ground Endeavour
Pulling
49er22
shocks.
requesting pushback.
we hope you enjoy flying with us.
Alright, nice.
49er22 pushback request accepted. To watch our cabin crew display the safety
Beacon's coming on. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn track hour back on. There we go. Set it up just better. Okay, there we go. Alright, excellent. Let's get rid of the display cap. Alright, we're clear to push here. As soon as he pushes, we'll crank 1. There we go. Alright, here, cranking 1. Alright, you hear the packs shut off. N2 is rising. There's 10%. A little bit of weather out there. And there's 20%. Fuel. Alright. Yeah, we'll go ahead and stop him.
Ground Endeavour 49er22 requesting the end of pushback.
Endeavour 49er22 request to end pushback received.
I'll finish watching this engine spool. Go to hydraulics auto here. Flaps for takeoff. Alright, 1's up, spinning 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, please pay attention as we display the safety features and procedures of the aircraft in case of an emergency.
Big bump there.
During an emergency, please remain in
This doesn't look like the new LaGuardia. This looks like the old LaGuardia. There was an add-on you could buy that has the new LaGuardia. We gotta be close there. There's 18%. There's 20. Alright, fuel's in.
You'll be instructed to get into the brace position, which is executed by placing your head between your knees with your hands over your head.
Thrust reverser's armed.
I'd also like to remind you that you should turn off all electronic devices. We thank you for paying attention during this brief presentation.
Zoom in a little bit. What's that? Yaw damper didn't get engaged. I gotta engage the yaw damper. Alright, yaw damper is engaged. Alright, 2's up. Let's go ahead and check it. So we want to go electric. AC is being covered by the engines. DC is being covered by the engines. Hydraulics. If I can click the button. There we go. Hydraulics are all set. Alright, back to the status page. And APU is getting shut off. And the door is being closed. Alright, we're going to taxi. Nose wheel steering's coming up. And we'll quickly, I'll run the checklist real fast here. Alright, generators auto, electronics check, bleed valves are auto, packs are on, APU is off, anti-ice is going to be off, and nose wheel steering is armed. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll isolate the crossfeed. And we're ready to taxi.
Endeavour 4922 with Lima ready to taxi IFR.
Endeavour 4922 taxi to and hold
What's
short
going
of
on with my
runway 13,
thrust?
taxiway
Shit.
Zulu Bravo, Mike
I gotta
cross
fix
runway
this
31
thrust.
Juliet cross runway 31 Lima cross runway 13 Tango Papa cross runway 22 Papa.
I really don't, hope I don't have a problem with my thrust levers here. Stand by, I gotta fix this.
Taxiing hold short
My thrust
runway
is not
13,
responding,
taxiway
so I gotta see
Zulu
what's up
Bravo
with
Mike
that.
cross runway tree 1 Juliet cross runway tree 1 Lima cross runway 1 tree Tango Papa cross runway 22 Papa Endeavour for 4922.
Let's fix this thrust here. I hope my throttle quadrant's working. It's gonna be annoying if it's not. Sometimes you gotta reboot, and I'm not rebooting for it, so that's gonna be gross. Let's test it real quick. There we go. Okay. We're working now. Thrust reverses are working. I probably have to recalibrate it. That's annoying. Let me quickly hit the brakes and we'll recalibrate this thrust. Alright. It's out of calibration now, so I gotta try to quickly calibrate it. Alright, let's see. Where is the calibration on this? It's a different airplane than the other one, even though it is the same options. Let's see. Thought it was in here. Is it not maintenance? No. Performance checklist. Shit. Where's the calibration for this? Thought the calibration page. Oh, next page. There it is. All right. That's what it is. Alright, use Flight Simulator Steering Axis. Alright, those are all set. Single axis, dual axis throttle hardware has no reverse access. Okay. Alright, let's see where we're at here. I gotta fix this, so I gotta calibrate this. So let's see. Idle. Gonna be where we're at now. God damn it, I'm having problems here. Yeah, see, it thinks I'm all throttled up when I'm not, so. It's got my engines at full thrust. I gotta try to fix this here. Alright, there we go. Set that. Climb. It's gonna be there. Toga. It's gonna be there. Max power. It's gonna be there. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's see if that fixed it. Alright, there we go. That fixes it. Alright. That works now. Again, I gotta treat this like a new airplane. It is a new model of the airplane. Alright, we're good to go.
Ground American 2847 Heavy IFR to DFW, ready to copy. American 2847 Heavy is cleared to DFW Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 13 climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure Departure frequency is 128.8 squawk.
Alright, slats flaps set at 8. Flight controls will check in a second. Trim is 7.1 and in the green. Let's do flight controls now. Let's not skip it. Alright, flight controls.
American 2847 Heavy cleared to
And
DFW
7.1 and in
is
the
filed.
green.
Takeoff
Thrust
runway
reversers are
15
armed.
maintain 11,000 feet. Departure on 124.4.
Flight instruments check. Brake temperatures are in the green.
American 2847 Heavy
we go.
readback is correct. Contact ground on 121.7 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Alright, so we got the thrust all calibrated, so we should be good for this airplane. That's probably the only things that are different.
Ground Delta 2531 Heavy taxi to the gate. Delta
I don't
2531
know why they're
Heavy taxi to
taxiing.
gate
Let me
Delta 4
read
via taxiway
what he
Golf
gave
Bravo
me for
Mike Alpha
instructions.
Zulu.
Unless they changed LaGuardia all over, like, we used to, this is how we used to taxi out in real life, was we'd taxi on this taxiway out, and they would taxi on the inside line for going in. I don't know why the game is doing it differently, but... Yeah, see, it says taxiway Bravo, so we're on the correct taxiway. I think the game's just doing it weird. Yeah, I think it's just the game doing it weird. Which happens.
Ground Delta 1077 Heavy ready to copy IFR clearance to Boston. Delta 1077 Heavy.
I assume they gave me a clear to cross, even though they wouldn't.
Takeoff runway 13 climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
Let's see, yep, cross runway 22 at Papa. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't have us clear to cross this far out. Alright, so taxi checklist complete before takeoff's good to go here. Go back to the status page. Yeah. IRL, they'd have him inside on this Alpha line. They have them all out on Bravo for some reason. I don't know why. Unless they changed ops here. I'll go in on Alpha. They're gonna be annoying. I'll go in on Alpha and I'll taxi Alpha. They did tell me to taxi Bravo, but I think it's just the game doesn't know how to actually taxi planes.
Ground Delta 994 Heavy IFR to Atlanta ready to copy. Delta 994
Turn him down just a hair.
Atlanta Airport is filed. Takeoff runway
There we
13
go.
climb and maintain 13,000 feet.
ATC's loud.
Departure frequency is 128.8 squawk 3076. Ground United 1553 Heavy ready to copy IFR clearance to Houston. United 1553 Heavy is cleared to Houston Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 13 climb and maintain 7,000 feet. Departure frequency is 120.05 squawk 0212. Ground Delta 1077 Heavy requesting pushback. Delta 1077 Heavy pushback request accepted. Delta 999
There, see that building right there? That's the VOR. That's LaGuardia VOR right there. That orange shack with the little nipple on top. Got a big cell out there. We got the radar on before we go. We were cleared across 2-2. Or cleared across 4, rather. They would say 4 because they're actually landing 4. They're not landing 2-2. Alright, let's go ahead. Switch over to tower. Flight attendant should tell the passengers to sit down here a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has advised that we are now cleared for takeoff.
Oh, what's that in the water? Something sitting in the water there.
Delta 2764 Heavy contact ground on 121.85.
There we go.
Tower Endeavour 4922 at runway 13 ready for departure IFR to St. Louis.
Endeavour 4922 altimeter 30.06 when 06 tree at 12. Cleared for takeoff.
Let's try the toga button. Nope. Okay. Did it do it? It did. Okay, it worked. I set a keybind for toga. I've been meaning to do that.
Jazz 8988 Heavy Tower. Altimeter 30.06 when 06 tree at 12. Cleared ILS runway for approach.
Cleared for takeoff runway.
All right, lights.
Endeavour 4922.
Lights are on. Fuel cross flow is manual. Flight 10's been advised. Radar is going to be on. CAS is clear and checked, and we're clear for takeoff.
Cleared to land runway Airport, Jazz 89er. Going to 121.85, Delta 2764 Heavy.
There we go. Airspeed's alive.
Delta
knots.
467 Heavy, 8 miles southwest inbound, ILS runway 4
V1,
approach.
rotate.
Delta 467 Heavy,
Oh, I didn't put my speeds in. Never mind. Let me run this a little bit longer. There we go. Rotate. I forgot to put the speeds in. Positive rate. Gears coming up.
Delta 467 Heavy, wind 063 at 12. Cleared to land runway 4. Cleared to land runway 4, Delta 467 Heavy.
All right, autopilot's on.
Endeavour 49er 22, contact New York departure on 120.4. Good day.
See ya.
Tower Endeavour 49er 217 miles south.
All right, no engine failure, so we can accelerate to 200.
Endeavour 49er 21 Tower. Altimeter 30.06, wind 063 at 12. Cleared ILS runway 4 approach.
Going to 120 decimal for Endeavour 49er22. New York departure Endeavour 49er22 is passing 2,100 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Endeavour 49er 22 New York departure altimeter 30.06 radar contact, continue to Kiwi. Endeavour 49er 22, keep speed not above 220 knots.
Yep, that's the plan. Those are so on the chart.
Keep speed not above 220 knots Endeavour 49er22.
Can't see though. I'll go track IR off here in a second. There we go. All right, let's go track IR off so I can zoom. All right, let's fix the cross flow. Let's fix our lights. Looks good. All right, and we'll run the checklist. Checklist. Fuel cross loads auto, bleeds and APU are set, thrust reversers are off, and CAS is checked. Climb checklist complete. I believe we can accelerate to 230 once we pass Canarsie. Yep, 230 past Canarsie. We made our altitude 3,000. We exceeded it by quite a bit. We climb pretty fast on this. We are pretty heavy. We're let's see what our weight is. We're not.
Contact New York Center on 121.125. Good day.
Going to
121
121.125 Endeavour 49er22.
All right, 21.25.
New York Center Endeavour 49er22 is at 8,800 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Endeavour 49er 22 New York Center altimeter 30.07 radar contact, continue to assault.
Assault. Assault and a Peppa. There you go. Give me the middle click. Huh. Game's being funky. When I'm doing the right click, it's supposed to let me push on it, and it's not letting me do it, so I don't know what's up. See, the game kind of had a fart and slowed down for a second there, so I don't know what's doing. Just manually do it.
Endeavour 49er 22 climb and maintain flight level 200, keep speed not above
Okay.
230 knots.
Yeah, game's having a fart here.
Climb and maintain flight level 200, keep speed not above 230 knots Endeavour 49er22.
All right, we accelerate to 230 knots.
22 contact New York Center on 118.975. Good day.
18975. See ya.
118.975 Endeavour 49er22. Goodbye.
All right, there we go.
New York Center Endeavour 49er22 is at 13,400 feet, climbing flight level 200.
Endeavor 49er 22 New York Center altimeter tree 0.06 radar contact continue.
Back to 06. Alright. Making our turn here. We gonna make the turn? Come on, turn, turn, turn. Oh, this is the vector. That's why. Alright. We're doing the vector, so let's go direct to Copes. That's the vector.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now serving sandwiches.
Flight plan. Legs. Copes to the vector. Execute. Direct to Copes. Execute. There we go. Yeah, it puts in a vector in there, and then I have to then go direct Copes. So likely they keep you in the vector, and then they tell you go direct Copes. So. There's no speed restriction beyond Canarsie, I believe. See if I can get the center push now. Nope, I don't know. That's interesting. Won't give me the center push.
American 2564 Heavy contact New York approach on 120.8. Good day.
Speaking of coffee there, Sergeant, I should go get one. Yeah, I got up way too early this morning. Didn't sleep well. Took a nap.
120.8 American.
Give me a little bit of the grouch.
Goodbye.
See, so I should see I can. Okay, so they changed it, I think, on this model because again, I was flying
49er 22 climb and maintain flight level 300.
300.
Climb and maintain flight level 300 Endeavor 49er22.
One technique to pay attention to your call sign is like I'm 4922. So the 22 is pretty much all I'm listening for, and when I hear 22, I pay attention and see if it sounds like it's something from me. I can't fix that. Man. Go into climb mode.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 200 knots. Expect ILS runway for approach via Veris transition. Cleared to Veris United 2661 Heavy.
Oh, he's over on Heliopascals too.
408 Heavy, your tree 1 mile south. Descend and maintain 2,000 feet. Expect vectors ILS runway for right approach. Endeavor 5404 traffic is 7 o'clock 4 miles at 7,900 feet. Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Descend and maintain 2,000 feet. Expect vectors ALS runway for right approach Aeromexico 408 Heavy. United 2661 Heavy traffic is 11 o'clock 4 miles at 7,100 feet. Cessna Skyhawk. Report them in sight. Aeromexico 408 Heavy contact New York approach on 126.8.
All right, so we're going up to 350. We got a. This is a hike of a flight. I gotta go do some leaves here at some point during cruise, but we got a 2 hours and 2 minutes en route. So this is one of the longer flights. So midsection, I'll go do some leaves. Sorry about being grouchy earlier, guys. Yeah, it's something that bugs me because it's like literally I understand people are trying to help, but it's like it's a very frustrating process with Restream because I have to set up both YouTube and Twitch. So I have to launch the game to be able to get the stream prompts to come up so I can edit them. Then it takes me at least 5 to 10 minutes to edit the prompts to get them all fixed. You know, if you set up a YouTube for streaming, it's easy because you can pre-set up everything for the stream. Then when you click stream, it's all set up. But they don't do that when you're setting up with Restream, so it's an extra layer of pain in the ass. And then when somebody's like, your thumbnail's wrong, it's like, I know the thumbnail's wrong. Trust me. It frustrates the hell out of me that I have to change it. It takes me like 15 minutes to change everything, every stream. So. Alright, we'll accelerate up to 280.
New York Center Endeavor 49er 8 tree is at 8,600 feet, climbing flight level 230. Endeavor 49er 8 tree, New York Center altimeter 30.02 radar contact. Continue to mix. United 2661 Heavy, contact New York approach on 128.8.
I'm just going to switch over vertical speed mode here.
Endeavor 4922 traffic is
So
9.2 miles at flight level 270, says the Skyhawk. Report them in sight.
That's got to be a CJ.
128.8 United 2661
Tells me
Heavy.
it's a Skyhawk, which is a 172, but it's a it's
Endeavor
likely a
49er22
CJ.
don't have the traffic.
'Cause there's no way in hell a
New York Center, Delta
Skyhawk coming
862
up to
Heavy, flight level
240.
350. Delta 862 Heavy, New York Center, radar contact. Continue to Papa Victor Delta.
Alright, we're only going up 350, so he'll give us an altitude here as we approach 330. Stop, please. Cat's being annoying. Right, once we get in cruise, I gotta go do some stuff, so just let it run. What is this?
Endeavor 49er22 contact New York Center on 124.625.
4, 6 and a quarter.
Endeavor 49er83 contact New York approach on 120.05. Good day.
6 and a quarter right there.
124.625 Endeavor 49er22. Goodbye. New York Center Endeavor 49er22 is passing flight level 260, climbing flight level 300.
Endeavor 49er22 New York Center radar contact. Continue to coast.
Copes.
Endeavor 49er22 contact Washington Center on 124.775. Good day.
24775.
124.775 Endeavor 49er22. Goodbye.
Lindbergh 4476 contact New York Center on 118.975.
Washington Center Endeavor 49er22 is passing flight level 275, climbing flight level 300.
Endeavor 49er22 Washington Center radar contact. Continue to coast. Washington Center United 1654 Heavy is at 11,000.
I'm just adjusting vertical speed mode so that we keep around 300 knots.
Endeavor 49er22 climb and maintain flight level 350.
There's our final 350. That's the final.
1654 Heavy Washington Center altimeter 30.04 radar contact. Continue to Santo.
Climb and maintain flight level 350
350
Endeavor
on the screen.
49er22.
Endeavor 49er22 contact Washington Center on 132.525.
325 and a quarter.
Going to 132.525 Endeavor 49er22. Washington Center Endeavor 49er22 is passing flight level 300, climbing flight level 350.
Endeavor 49er22 Washington Center radar contact. Continue to coast.
Copes. Still gonna copes.
Endeavor 49er22 contact New York Center on 124.625.
625.
Good day.
6 and a quarter. What was that? Diff press? What the hell is that? What just happened? The cat pressed something, I think. What is that?
Endeavor 49er22, did you copy?
Yeah, we're having an issue here. What the? Oh, differential pressure
124.625
on the.
Endeavor 49er22.
What's up here?
Goodbye.
Go to auto on the. It's pressurization. See if I can get the pressurization fixed here.
United 503 Heavy contact Washington Center on 124.775.
That's not what I want. Where am I here?
Good day.
Not ECS. Not ECS, is it? No, that's it. Here. Yeah, we got an 8.8, so I gotta fix that. Got it too high of a pressure differential, so I gotta fix that. I gotta look at it. We got a pressure differential problem with the cat.
Delta Niner Niner.
I need you to give me a break, buddy.
New York Center on 135.45. Good day.
New York Center Endeavor
Gotta look at the
4922
pressurization, see
is
what's
at
up.
flight level 345, climbing flight level 350.
Endeavor 4922 New York Center radar contact. Continue to coast.
Why are we having a pressure differential problem?
135.45 Delta Niner Niner 4 heavy.
45 psi, 45 packs are pushing out both. 21, 23. Got a climb rate of 1,000. 8.7 psi. Got a delta P of 8.6, which has given us the differential pressure warning. What the hell is going on here? Both engines are spooled even. I didn't put in any sort of failures. Having some thrust issues here. I don't know. Am I having thrust issues? No, it looks good. N1 and N2 are fine. I have some sort of pressurization problem. Packs 1 and 2 are on.
Endeavor 4922 contact New York Center on 135.45.
545. I gotta diagnose this problem here.
Going to 135.
Okay, it's gone now.
Endeavor
Okay,
4922.
we're starting to equalize now. All right, I think it just pressurized the cabin a little bit uneven. Probably all it was.
New York Center Endeavor.
We got slow though.
flight
We're
level
heavy, so
350.
I don't know what the deal is.
New York Center radar contact. Continue to BYRDD.
It's very interesting though. I haven't had that issue before. Let me see if I can find a pressure differential in the emergency checklists. But that was interesting. Get a pressure differential. Flight format. Aircraft operations manual part 1. Let's go in there. Let's do a search for it.
American 2416 heavy contact Philadelphia approach on 124.35. Good day.
Okay.
Brickyard 440 tree heavy, New York Center radar contact. Continue to Lima Romeo Papa. 124.35,
Yeah.
American 2416 heavy. Goodbye. New York Center, Scanwing 4810 is at 10.
It's fixed now, but I think what happened was this button here I had out for the I think I had the cabin pressure in manual, and yeah, I think that's what it was.
Traffic is 3 o'clock 3 miles at flight level 375 Airbus A20N.
I don't see it.
Report them in
I
sight.
don't see it.
New York Center jet speed 250 heavy, flight level 180. Jet speed 250 heavy, New York
Check
Center
traffic
altimeter
real quick.
30.0 tree radar contact. Continue to Delro.
Traffic's right there.
Endeavor 4922. Don't have Airbus.
That's them
A20
right
in
there. I
sight.
don't see them though. They're above us. They're probably sitting like right here where I can't see them.
Endeavor 4922 traffic alert. 2 o'clock less than 1 mile, flight level 380 Airbus A20N.
Yeah,
Report them in sight.
he's 3,000 feet above us. It's fine.
Endeavor
can see 'em right here in the
4922.
scope.
Don't have the traffic.
I don't know what the dealio is. How's it going there, Citrus? Hello, hello. Yeah, I woke up at 3 this morning, so I went to bed early. I fell asleep at like 10 o'clock, but woke up at 3. So, and I took a nap. That's why I was grouchy when I first got on. I was just tired.
Endeavor 4922. Don't have Airbus A20N
It's obnoxious
in
how they
sight.
keep reporting traffic. Like, there's one right there, but they would they pretty much tell you once and then they leave you alone unless like it's real close.
New York Center Lindbergh 449er flight level 180. Lindbergh 449er New York
We're gonna see if we're actually gonna keep
Decimal
accelerating or not.
contact. Continue to Mike X-ray
Problem is we're
Control.
pretty heavy as we burn fuel because I want to go AFK for a little bit and go do some leaves, but I'm gonna make sure I don't crash.
New York Center JetBlue.
Could work on just do. You know what I think I'll do? I'll do leaves this afternoon later, and I'll probably boot up Stormarks, play a little Stormarks.
250 heavy contact New York Center on 132.5. Good day.
It must automatically go to half bank at a certain altitude.
New York Center radar. Contact continued.
I think that's what it's doing because it keeps going half bank when we get up to a certain altitude, so I think that's what it's doing.
132.5.
We're still accelerating here, so gotta watch this. I don't have auto throttles on this plane, so. Alright, we start getting ready for, not that we're gonna be in St. Louis anytime soon, but might as well start getting St. Louis stuff ready. I've not been to St. Louis in many a year. Try not to fly into the arch. Let's see. And then we're going to be doing, let's see, we're doing...
Endeavor 49er 22 contact New York Center on 132.5. Good day.
325 Anacia.
Going to 132.5 Endeavor 49er22.
Oh, you do live in the winter capital of the world,
New
don't
York
you,
Center
Citrus?
Endeavor 49er22 flight level 350.
You should win this one. You know all about the winter vehicles.
Radar contact continue to same.
Same. Going the same. Going the same. Doodly-doo. So it's a legal requirement in a 121 aircraft, which is an airliner, to have the 3 attitude indicators. So you got one here, and one here. So you need 3 attitude indicators. They're all in separate systems, so it's essentially 3 redundant attitude indicators. So for example, if these failed, we would still be able to fly via the central attitude indicator with speed, altitude, and most important, the attitude indicator itself. So that is a legal requirement, which is good. They're pretty much all digital ones now. We actually, some of the 145s we had vacuum HSIs. Maybe not vacuum, maybe they were electric, I can't remember. But the HSIs in there, and these are electric at this point. So. See what my fuel burn is? That's actually not too bad. We're doing 2,200 a side. That's pretty good, actually. So this is the bigger plane. This is the 900. As you can see. I can't get the right mouse button to do what it's supposed to do. It's weird. I don't know why.
American 1557 heavy contact New York Center on
Yeah. So I think that pressure was. I had this. So if we look over here,
going to 132.2 United.
this is all my stuff for pressurization here and pretty much here. We have cabin pressure.
135.45.
We have. This is pressure. This you can go into manual mode or you can go into automatic. This is an automatic. I accidentally had it in manual mode because there are some things that are a little different, I think, in this. And this set had it as a manual mode to start with instead of automatic. And so the pressure differential was just too high. And so once I put it back in automatic, it took it a second. It was over 8.8 delta P, and it went down. 322. See it? 322. Yeah, this is like one of the best call signs. When you have a double number like 22, it makes it real easy to listen up for your call sign.
Endeavor 49er22. Goodbye.
I don't think I've seen yours yet, Sergeant. Have you posted it? Any pictures yet? That'd be neat to see.
22 flight level 350.
Are you keeping it under wraps?
Endeavor 49er22 New York Center radar contact. Continue to be RNAN.
BRNA. BRNA. Burning. Burning. Yeah, so if we look, let's go ahead and look at, I gotta bring it back up. What is that? What is that? Why is that still up? Maybe I did look at this morning. That's the problem when I get up early and then, like, I got on games I got up on the computer this morning and was doing a bunch of stuff, and then I was like, I had a thing up for a part for the motorcycle, and I was like, when did I open that? And I was like, I guess I did because I took a nap, so my sleep is all screwed up. So if you look right here, we're over this area here. We're still getting a bunch of weather from the hurricane. That was a really bad tropical storm down in Florida. But this is kind of the remnants of the tropical storm, and then this is a new tropical storm that's moving in towards Florida, right here. So it comes in like this, and then it moved up like that. So you can see we're still getting kind of rain bands here. You can kind of see they all spooled off of this cell. So they came in last week and then went up there. Let me quickly check, make sure I'm not overspeed. Nope. Yeah, you can see this is all like bands maybe off of this, but this is kind of the remnants. You can see, like, you can even still see the circle of it there. And then if you look down here, that's the next tropical storm that's coming up, because it is still hurricane season for a couple months here, and that's probably another cell forming up behind it. Kind of nasty little cells down around Mexico. But it's reasonably light here. This is what we're flying over, is this. This is the rain. So, for example, like if we look out the window, this is much more covered than that would show, and that's because it's only showing us the rain. The radar hits rain. So, like, some of this flat stuff probably has no rain in it. This taller stuff probably has some rain in it. Got the radar on, but I don't know what I have to do to make the radar work right, so shut it off for now. And then let's go ahead and we'll check. I don't have a TAF for it. Let's see. I'll bring up a TAF for St. Louis. TAF is a terminal aerodrome forecast. So that so you have METARs and you have TAFs. Let's bring them up here. Let's see. METAR, STL.
New York Center Brickyard Tree 556 Heavy is at flight level tree 00, descending flight level 280.
Trying to find the actual METAR.
Heavy, New York Center radar contact.
This is all giving it decoded. I don't want it decoded, so. Let's see, does AirNav have METARs and TAFs on it? I don't know if it does. Let's see. Here it is, right here. Okay. So here's the St. Louis METAR. It's the first of the month, first of October. The report came out at 16:51 Zulu, which is about noon, almost 1 p.m. my time. Wind 340 at 14 knots, 10 statute miles, which means it's, you know, clear. Few at 25,000 feet, so completely clear over St. Louis. Temperatures dew points 07. One of the reasons why it's so clear is the temperature and dew point spread is really wide. Altimeter is 3017. That's pretty much all we need to know in that. And then if we go down to the TAF here, the TAF will tell us what the weather's going to look like when we get there. So first day of the month at 15:02 Zulu. So that'll be 11 o'clock my time. So on the first from 15, and so it actually became active on the first 15, or the time that it's valid is the first at 15 Zulu to tomorrow at 18 Zulu. Winds 340 at 12, gusting to 24, so it is gusty. Greater than 6 statute miles visibility, few at 25,000. Let's see what time we're going to be there. So this is the forecast, so we want to check the time we're going to be there. We're going to be there in about an hour and 38 minutes. We have to think local time too, so we end up losing an hour. So we're actually going to be there, quote unquote, in 38 minutes. is when the time, is that right? That should be right. Yeah. So about 38 minutes from now. So we're talking just about 3 o'clock almost. So we define that on here. So let's see. Yeah, it looks like the top is going to be the valid information there. Because this one here is at 23, which is 11 p.m. Drop 4 off 11 p.m. Hold on, I got a cough. So we're talking, you know, that's, you know, that's going to be later than we get there. So what we do is we'd read the top line. So the top line means that we're looking at a wind of 340 at 12, gusting to 2-4. So it's going to be real gusty conditions, but the skies are clear.
22 contact Cleveland Center on 121.2.
21.2.
Good day.
So got clear skies, but it's going to be windy. So, and it's 340. We're going to be landing on runway 3, so that's going to be, you know, pretty good, pretty much a headwind. But
4922, did you copy?
yeah, I'm just low.
121.2 Endeavor 4922. Goodbye.
How's it going there, officer? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Cleveland Center Endeavor 4922 flight
Yes,
level
Florida. What
350.
can you do? Well, that's the problem. Is like Florida's.
4922 Cleveland Center radar contact. Continue to PSYKL.
PSYKL. Florida's going to be in deep shit with climate change. It's just there's nothing they can really do about it. Like, just like the geology of the place is. Let me see. Scroll up. Like Florida keeps getting battered because one, it's a peninsula out in the Caribbean. The storms usually follow this line coming in and just hammer Florida, and then they turn as they hit the landmass. They start heading north, so they actually don't, like, if they just crossed it, it would suck anyway. But they don't cross it; they hit it and then they go up Florida. And the problem with Florida too is Florida has a porous base of coquina, which is just like seashells, and so even if they put a big wall around Florida, it would still fill with water. Because the water would come up from underneath the wall. If they put a wall around, say, Manhattan, they put a wall around Manhattan, the water would rise up around the wall, but it would not come in from the bottom because that has a hard bedrock of granite. You know, the other thing too here, let's look at the Florida stuff, and this is the other reason why Florida has all these issues is, will the map scroll, or are we just going to completely not? Thanks. I'm trying to scroll out, and it doesn't want to do it. So, like, let's look at one of the higher areas in Florida. Like, here's Ocala. 83 feet. So, out in the middle of the state, it's 83 feet tall. That's it. Let's see if we can find, like, what's Lee? 70 feet. So, like, even looking out in the 114 feet. Gainesville. I used to fly out of Gainesville. 133 feet. So that's 133 feet. So, you know, that's that's not that high. Here's Sanford. 42 feet. So if you had a 20-foot storm surge, that's like halfway to the height of this far inland. 24.4, sure. 24.
Good day.
4.
124 decimal for Endeavor 4922. Goodbye. Cleveland Center Endeavor 4922.
So here's Daytona, 31 feet. So if you have a 20-foot storm surge, the water in Daytona will come up to like here in a flood, in a storm surge. You know, so it's just like, and then you like look, see all these lakes? There's reason why, like, look at all the lakes and stuff. You got a lot of lakes. Some of them are retention ponds, but a lot of it's lakes, and the reason is, you know, it's so low, the water has no place to go. Like, the ocean is literally sitting under Florida in the Coquina base, and so as you put water on top, it has no place to go. So you end up getting really bad floods in Florida, and you can't do anything about it. That's why, like, a lot of insurance companies are just not insuring anybody in Florida, because, you know, the whole point of insurance is you pay them, you know, say over the lifetime of your insurance policy for your house, you're paying, let's say, I don't know, $2,000 a year, you know, and you have your house for 30 years, so you've paid $60,000 in. Of course, the insurance company wants to make a profit, so, you know, out of every 10 houses, they have to pay out one house that costs $600,000. You know, then that breaks even. You know. And so the problem is, in Florida, they're having to pay out too many claims because everybody's getting flooded out and it totals your house. So you would need to pay enough money to be able to do that. Then the federal government gets involved and they help to subsidize. So everyone else is helping to pay other people's flood insurance, which is a social good. But the problem becomes, you know, you're never going to be able to...
Contact Cleveland Center on 128.45.
2845. You're never going to be able to keep Florida going, because it's just, eventually it's going to get to the point where it's just too expensive to keep rebuilding.
128.45 Endeavor 49er22. Goodbye. Cleveland Center Endeavor 49er22 flight level.
Yeah, so it just becomes very difficult in Florida. Is just the geology doesn't allow for you to do some of the things you could do in other places, like say New York or places, Boston, with hard, you know, granite bases. So you end up with a place that's just going to flood constantly, no matter what you do. Good to see you, officer. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, I see Alistair. That's good. Yeah, New Orleans is below. New Orleans is below sea level. Yeah.
Cleveland Center Skywest 4025 Heavy is at flight level 29er.
But I think they have a hard base. That's why, for example, the levees work in New Orleans. Like, levees would not work in Florida because of the Coquina base. I gotta zoom out a little bit to see. New Orleans right there, 6 feet. 1 foot. You know, that's not good. You know, and they're building the airports up higher too. like the land mass is low. -2. So you can see that's all below sea level. That's why New Orleans has all the issues New Orleans has. But I believe they have like a more solid foundation of rock, and so that's why you can put a levee around it. The water doesn't come up from underneath. Florida, you put levees around it, the water's still going to come up because you have to dig the levee down 1,000 feet. You know, it's not going to happen. So. Then you have places like Denver, which will never have any problems with any of that flooding business. Why is this, like, my mouse is not, no, it's just max ranged at 200, I guess. Let's see what St. Louis's altitude is. You know, good old St. Louis. There's the Mississippi River. 564 feet. Yeah, the clay and the dirt. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know much about the geology of Louisiana. I know Florida better. I lived in Florida for 7 years, and then lived in the Northeast most of my life. The Northeast is all granite, you know, so the water can't come up from underneath because the granite's, you know, granite is not porous enough to let the water through.
Brickyard 5601 Heavy is passing flight level 360, descending flight level 310. Brickyard 5601 Heavy, Cleveland Center, radar contact. Continue to Victor Hotel Papa.
I'm almost out of Steam cash. I finally I just bought the 900 here, and I'm down to, let's see, what, 64 cents? That's usually what I ask for from family for Christmas. Is I like to, my brother usually gets it for me. Is I like getting Steam money, because it's like I won't buy stuff for myself. Like I'll see a game I want and I won't buy it. But when there's when I have the Steam wallet with some money in it, then I'll buy it. You know, so that's why I like, you know, for a gift from family, I like to get a Steam gift card, because it's, you know, when I want something, you know, that I'd normally be like, like, you know, like this 900, the CRJ 900 I really wanted, but I'm like, it's 20 bucks, I don't need it. And then I had 20 bucks left in my Steam wallet, so I bought it, you know. I tend to be a saver, so when somebody gives it to me, I'll usually then I use it. So this is what we used to do in the airlines during these. This isn't a long flight, but the longer flights is back in the day. Let's see if I can find pictures of it. We had paper charts. And so, let's see. And so the airline would give us, you know, the initial charts and all the Jeppesen stuff. And so this is what it looked like. So you would have so I had 2 of these books. Actually, I had 3. I had 2 of these books full of every airport that we went into. And this is about how thick it was. So you would fill this book here with charts. And so you'd have 2 of these full of charts. And then what I would have is I had a thin one, which was like this big. It was real thin, and so what you would do is, let's say, you know, we're going from LaGuardia to St. Louis. So what I would do is I would go in the big manual, and I would pull all of my LaGuardia charts, and I would pull all of my St. Louis charts, and I'd throw them in the small binder, and then I only had to have the small binder out, and it made it easier to find the stuff. You know, and then if you needed to go somewhere else, you could pull everything. And so these were heavy. Like our kit bags used to weigh like 50 pounds, because we had two of these full of paper. We had the little one, and then we would have a company SOPs manual. And so that's what we used to have to lug around, and now it's all on an iPad. So you don't have to lug it around. And then so what we used to do in the long flights was you would get these little manila envelopes when you go into work. How's it going there, Ron? Good to see you. When you go into work, there'd be a little manila envelope, and it would be all the changed Jeppesen approach plates. And so you'd go in, there'd be a basket, and sometimes it'd have SOP changes in there. But you'd grab the manila envelope, and you would pull out the chart. So what you had to do is you had to find the chart. So you'd say, find this chart. You would have to read the chart. You'd have to read the new one. It would tell you what changed. You'd pull the old one, and you'd install the new one. So you knew what the old one was like, what the new one was like, what the changes were, and then you'd install it. And so, like, some weeks you go in there and it would be super thick, especially if it was a certain time of the year when most of the charts got updated. And so what we do in the longer flights is we'd grab a trash bag out of the back and we'd put it in between us. So you'd have the trash bag sitting right here. We'd usually tie it right here and open it up. So you'd tie it so the bag was open. And you would take your manila envelope and you'd pull the chart, install, pull, install, pull, install, and you'd throw the old ones out. And then by the end of it, sometimes that bag was full of paper, and that got tossed. And so now it's all on an iPad, and you just click, 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 and you're done. So it would be cool if this would go into, I could put approach plates on this. But I can't. But I can't. Oh, we're out of the envelope. Look at that. We're out of the envelope. That's not good. Get back in the envelope, you. Let's see if we're in there now. We probably are in now. Should not have taken off out of the envelope, but it didn't give me a warning either. Let's see what our fuel looks like. 10,460. 10,460. So let's find. Where's weight in pounds?
Endeavor 49er22, contact Cleveland Center on 120.4.
204. That's an easy one. I like that.
Cleveland Center Eurotrans Tree 7 Tree Heavy Flight Level 350.
Stepped on.
Eurotrans Tree 7 Tree Heavy Cleveland Center radar contact continue. Eurotrans Tree 7 Tree Heavy traffic is 2 o'clock.
Leave Eurotrans alone.
Level 355. Report them in sight.
Going to 120 decimal for Endeavor 49er22.
That's a dick move. That's a dick move when they
Cleveland Center Endeavor
call somebody
49er22,
else. You let
flight
that
level
person
350.
respond so that they can then move on with their day.
Endeavor 49er22 Cleveland Center radar contact continue.
Continuing. All right, so let's look. We are currently at. We've got 10,390. I'm gonna drop off some mass here. 10,390. I can't change this. It will actually change the fuel inside, so I don't want to do that. But I'm kind of looking. Let's see. Zero fuel weight is 64,074 plus 10, so 74,074. So we would check it. We're going to be 70. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope. So it's 2s maybe. 8, 72, 74. Nope. 3s. 69, giggity, 72, 5, nah. Let's see, so we're going to be 70, what did I say, 74. So we're somewhere 74, so we are actually in here. And then CG, yeah, we might still have an aft CG here. See how the fuel burn looks? Running a little bit of an aft CG. We're out of the envelope. You're supposed to be in this line. You can see flight only. This is, we need to be in here for takeoff, but we can be in these outer bands for in the flight. Should have checked that before we left. I gotta check how to set my ref speeds. Go to ref speed, I think. Alright, there's our... Okay, that's how you do it. And then... Gotcha. Alright. So I could set these. So for example, if I go to ref speeds, not that they're going to be right now, but landing speeds, VREF is 141. So what is it? Ref 141. So let's see. I go select until I get VREF 141. Select V2 is going to be 150. VFTO 226. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. VT. Yeah, so that's pretty much all we need there. V2, V1. Then we'll go back to target. We're going to burn more fuel, so those speeds are going to change. You do that right before you land. You'd set those in. I think the Embraer was a little bit easier. You did it in the FMS. If memory serves. There we go. It's working now. I think their game was just being funky earlier. Picker fuel here. We got... ooh. No, we're good. We're only about 100 pounds off. So let's cross-feed over for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty close now. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's on auto crossfeed. It won't crossfeed unless they get too far apart.
Flight level 360, descending flight level 310. Brickyard 5601 Heavy Cleveland Center radar contact. Continue to
I can
Victor
go
Hotel
far
Papa.
longer than that. Let's see. Like in real life, I'd be able to put my finger up here and press the button while I'm looking at the number and just shut it off when it gets close. But when you get bored in the air just flying, you can do stuff like this. Like go ahead and do fuel balancing. Gotta go manual crossfeed to do it, huh? There we go. Now I pulled too much. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. We're within 20 pounds. Sometimes you get bored, do stuff like that, like fuel crossfade, stuff like that. Check anti-ice. Of course, none of the anti-ice systems run here. I can show you some of it. So we have the engines are putting out hot bleed air, and the hot bleed air goes to here, and you see it's going through the pipes, and it's stopping here. And so in the front of the engines, if we look, see how you have the silver section here, and then you have the silver of the wings. They wouldn't go in the winglets, but you have the silver section here and here. All right, so that silver section is right there, and then this is the wing, leading edge of the wings. And so if I go in and I want to turn on, let's go over here, anti-ice. So turn my wings on, you notice those two valves just opened, and now I have hot bleed air going through, heating up the wings. And we're going to get some sort of performance loss. So let's look at, 91, 93. So it's 91, was it 90, was it 91, 93? I didn't see, I can't see the difference. So what is it, 0.2 and 0.9. Yeah, I don't see the drop. Sometimes you're not going to get a drop off on them. And so you see now that just opened up the two engines. See the engines are getting heat now. And you can see the engine spooling down. That's because I'm losing power because I've got my bleed air going out to my anti-ice. So if I shut one off, now this one is not getting hot air. And you notice, see the engines are going back up. Or the right engine is going back up. You can hear the engine spooling up again now that I've shut this valve over here. And now my engines will spool back up even more because now they're not wasting any of that bleed air. That's the detector test there. Yeah, so that's the bleed air. So if we were flying in icing conditions, this plane is, you can fly into known icing. So you could fly into a cloud that you know there's ice in there. And when you go in, you go click, click, click. And it would, you lose a little performance, but now all my wings are hot and my engine nacelles are hot, so I'm not going to build up any ice. Because they get really hot. So. And then we have, these are our probes, so that's to tell us if there's ice, and then I can go high in the windshields. I don't know if I would go high in the windshields, but that's windshield heat, so that's just this electric. It sends electricity through here, through a resistor, and it warms up the window. And that's not really for... 445. Good numbers today there, Guy. I appreciate you.
124.45 Endeavor 49er22. Goodbye. Indianapolis Center Endeavor 49er22 flight level 350.
Yeah, so that's how you deal with icing conditions. Let's see what else we got. It's interesting. Let me read some chat here. No, that's too bad. Colorblind, yeah. Unfortunately, that's one of the tests. So for example, you need to have 20/20 correctable vision for us. I have 20/10, 20/20. I used to be 20/10, 20/10. If you, for example, if I go below 20/20 in one of my eyes, I have to go get glasses. But you can't be colorblind, which is, you know, I get it, but it's unfortunate for people who are colorblind. So that's too bad. Yeah, I can imagine. That's too bad. That sucks. And let's see. So here are bleed valves. So like, let's play with bleed valves here. So let's see. Go to bleeds here. It might be the same as on anti-ice. Might run the bleeds the same as anti-ice. I don't think there's a separate bleed page. Nope, there is. I'm looking. I'm a-looking. Let's go to the traffic scope. There he is. Right here. There he is.
Endeavor 4922.
We're gonna get a traffic alert when he goes over. So here he is right here. You can see him coming in on the scope. So he's at 35,900, which is essentially he's at 360, but it's just showing that. And so here he is right here. We'll probably, I don't know, are we following him? I can't. So okay, so we're actually following him. If you look, the red light was on the left.
461 traffic is 11 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 350 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Yeah, I saw him.
United 1362 heavy traffic is
So there he is.
3 miles at flight level 310 Cessna Skyhawk.
So let me look for his lights.
Report them in sight.
So if the red light's on the left, which it looks like it is, we're up behind him. We're catching up to him. So if the red's on the left and the green's
461 have the traffic.
on the right, and we can see the white light, that means that we're up behind him. If it was the other way, if it was red, green, no white, we know he's coming towards us. Look at that shit. What is he doing? What's he doing? What's he doing? What's he doing? I think the game's having a fart. Yeah, you can see how he keeps coming and then he goes away. That's probably the live traffic. See how he's like stuck? That's the live traffic not updating. Gotta see he's all funked up. Funked up. There he goes. You can start to see, starting to level out. Ah, there he goes again. He's being wonky woo.
Indianapolis Center, Brickyard 3556 Heavy is at flight level 300, descending flight level 280. Brickyard 3556 Heavy, Indianapolis Center, radar contact, continue to Lapo.
Game's having some issues. Yeah, that's part of the medical is like when I do my eye test, you got to look at the machine, you got to get all the stuff right, and then one of it is you have to do the 4 circles with colors in it. You know, like for example, I you know, that could be one of the reasons. You know, I know why they make you have to be not colorblind, but like for example, being able to see the nav lights like that, you know, is one of the reasons. I would say. I don't know much about colorblindness. All right, let's look back at systems here. So here's bleed air. So here's the bleeds page. So if we look here, we have bleed air. We have the bleed valve open. It's pushing 45 psi air out. That's going to the PAC, the pneumatic air conditioning kit. Sometimes they're PAC TAC, sometimes they're PACK. If it has the K on there, that stands for kit. If it doesn't, it's just pneumatic air conditioning. And then it's at 22C is what's coming out into the cockpit. It doesn't tell me the temperature out of the engine. It's very hot coming out of the engine. And then it goes in the PAC, and the PAC takes cold air from outside, and it does a heat exchange. And it cools down the air from the engine. So, like, heat in a jet is hot. Like, you can get it up to, like, they have a restriction on it. You can't, like, go 300 degrees, but you can get the plane really hot really fast because your air starts hot. You're not heating the air. The air starts heated. You just don't cool it down as much. And so it's easy to warm the plane up on a cold day. You just get that APU humming and it's hot air right off the bat. But it goes in the PAC, and then by the time it gets to the cockpit, it's 22 degrees Celsius. And then here's the cabin. So one of the PACs off the left engine, the left PAC, is for just the cockpit, and the other one is for the entire rest of the plane. So pilots get their own pack, because if the pilots pass out, everyone's in trouble. Oh, that's tough. You couldn't see 2 of the 4 circles. Yeah, it's probably one of those different. I forget the different types of color blindness, but you know, if you have one of the types, it's one of the things. Like, I see all of them, so I couldn't tell. If you notice, the little green P has moved closer, so that's moving in as we burn fuel. So let's see. Let me play with cross bleeds and stuff. All right, so bleed valves are on open, are on auto. If I go to closed, you notice, see they're closed now? I don't want to do it for too long. We're doing pressure. It's going to give me a pressurization warning if I do it for too long. I hope we're not frozen in time. I think we're all right. I hope the game didn't freeze me. I look like I'm progressing. We had 18 minutes. We're down to 15 minutes, and I've been yakking for probably 3 minutes, so that makes sense. So that put the bleeds on, you know, that closed the bleeds. I can put it on manual, and I can start spinning bleed valves here. I gotta check this. That's the isolation valve. So the isolation valve here, I think it should be this one. It isolates the number 1 side, the left side, from the right side. Let me click it, we'll see. And there's the isolation valve. 475. These Indy frequencies are great. The minimal spins.
Going to 120.475 Endeavor 49er22. Indianapolis Center Endeavor 49er22.
So yeah, you can see that's the isolation valve right there. It isolates one side from the other. Right there. And then, so you see bleed source left. Yeah, I've seen it for a while.
Endeavor 49er22, have the traffic.
That's new traffic beyond him, I think. There's another traffic up there, maybe. Check traffic. No, still showing just him. So what's that? Is that just the game being funky? I see something right there. Did I spit on my monitor? Okay, I'm trying to see if I can see it in the recording or if it's just in my...
Traffic.
No, it's on the recording too. So see, we just got the traffic warning. See, it went red. That's the traffic warning.
Endeavor 49er22 traffic alert. 12 o'clock less than 1 mile flight level 360 Airbus A20N. Report them in...
I really don't want an RA off him either.
Endeavor 49er22, have the traffic.
I think that's a nav light. I think it's just because he screwed up. All right, so anyway, so let's go back to bleeds. So we're on manual bleeds here. If you look, bleed air, wing, AI, cross bleed, from left, from right. All right, so this is wing, anti-ice, cross bleed. So let's go back to anti-ice real quick. No, it's not Pry. Where the hell is it?
Traffic.
Yeah. See, so we're getting a traffic warning on them again. It goes red. That's his nav light. It should be stuck on there. I'd like to get past him so we're not having this problem all day. I really don't want a resolution advisory. An RA is a resolution advisory. So the system will automatically keep us from hitting each other. Well, it doesn't automatically do it. We have to fly it. But what will happen is, if we were to get this close, what it would do is it would tell him to go up and to the right, and me and down and to the left, say, for example. And so we would, and that takes precedence over ATC. So it would tell us to go in opposite directions so we don't hit each other. So he would climb and go right, I would descend and go left. And then once you've cleared the RA, so the RA takes precedence over everything.
Traffic.
You ignore ATC. Like if ATC told me to climb and him to descend, you'd ignore it. You go after the RA that would come up on your screen. So I'm just hoping we don't get an RA. And if you look here, where's the RA on there? It's on the it's right here.
Indianapolis Center
Right here. Where is it on here?
Level 380, climbing flight level 400. United 1863 Heavy, Indianapolis Center.
I forget where RA is on here. You might not be able to shut the RA off on this plane. Some of them you can put just TA or TARA, the resolution advisory. You might have automatic RA on there. Alright, now he's behind me. He's still having problems, but anyway, so we're back on anti-ice. Let's go isolation valve. Isolation valve's now open, so what I could do, for example, is I could go from the left, and now if you look, I would think, let's see, bleed air, anti-ice from left, isolation bleeds valve, engine number 1. Alright, so see I just closed this valve. The isolation valve is open, so if I wanted to feed this right engine anti-ice, now my left engine is feeding the bleed air to the right engine. And you go back to both. Now it's open that valve there. Close the isolation valve, go back to normal. Go back to auto. But yeah, you can configure your bleeds the way you want. Yeah. Generally, you'd keep it like this. They finally come alive. That's him over there now. Limps. Gonna read some chat. Yeah, that's tough. That's too bad. That sucks. I'll be right back. I gotta get some coffee.
Flexjet 359er Heavy, descend and maintain 2,000 feet. Endeavour 49er 22 traffic is 10 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 330 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Skywest 5381 Heavy, contact Indianapolis Center on 128.075. Good day. Sun Country 8707 Heavy, traffic is 7 o'clock 2 miles at flight level 355. Report them in sight. Descend and maintain 2,000 feet. Flexjet 359er Heavy. 128.075 Skywest 5381 Heavy. Goodbye. Flexjet 359er Heavy, descend and maintain 2,700 feet. Sun Country 8707 Heavy, traffic in sight.
Alright, I'm returned. Did we get a frequency change? Nope.
Sun Country 8707 Heavy, contact Indianapolis Center on 128.075. Good day.
So that's icing. Those environmental control systems. So I can change the temperature in here. So like right now we're at 23°C.
Endeavour 49er 22, contact Indianapolis Center on 128.075. Good day.
One 128.075 Endeavour 49er22. Goodbye. Indianapolis Center Endeavour 49er22 flight level 350.
Endeavour 49er 22 Indianapolis Center radar contact. Continue to Mike India Echo. Endeavour 49er 22 contact Indianapolis Center on 135.125. Good day.
There's short frequency.
35.125 Endeavor 49er22. Goodbye. Indianapolis Center Endeavor 49er22 flight level 350.
Endeavor 49er22 Indianapolis Center radar contact. Continue to Mike India Echo.
Alright, so here's the temperature control for here.
Heavy contact Indianapolis Center on
So we're at 23C.
130.75.
Set, so selected, we want 23C. We're at 23C. We're at 23C in the pipe. If I go up, I set it to 24C. It's now at 24C, and it's at 25C in the pipe because it had to increase the temperature. And then so let me see. I don't know. Generally, like in the 145 on our cabin temperature, if we went all the way to the right, it would give it to the flight attendant's panel. So the flight attendant could control the temperature. But the flight attendant had like a max temp they could go to, let's say 30C. So if the flight attendant put their panel all the way to max, sometimes they couldn't, like if passengers were saying that they were cold, the flight attendant would put their panel all the way to max and it wouldn't heat up fast enough. So that we get a call from the flight attendant and we kick it off of you know, the flight attendant's panel back to our panel, and all we had to do was click it up and it would go off of their panel and we could set it to max temp, and then they would call us 2 seconds later and be like, temp's good, give it back, and then we'd just click it to the right and then they would have it on their panel again. So we could make the back hotter than the flight attendants could make it. So quite a blanket of clouds out here. See where we're over right now. Don't know where MIE is. Yeah, see how we're like jittering? So I wonder if the game's kind of like running slow. I don't know what the deal is. It's Indiana. Muncie, Indiana. We are progressing, it's just... Muncie, Indiana. What is it, 114.4? If I change nav source, we're gonna have problems. I'm trying to think how I can do this without changing nav. I can do it on the right side.
Indianapolis Center Brickyard Tree 556 Heavy is at flight level 300, descending flight level 280. Brickyard Tree 556 Heavy, Indianapolis Center radar contact. Continue to LAPO.
Let's do it over here. Because currently, if we look, where is it? The autopilot's running off FMS 1. So I should be able to change FMS 2 over here to that VOR. And then I would move my course until it straightens up. And that's how you could navigate via the VOR. So that's this VOR right here we're going to. And so now that's running off the nav instead. So that's how you used to, back in the day, you'd navigate before GPS and inertial nav. Use VORs. They're pretty much phasing out all the VORs now. And then if you wanted to listen to it, it's not going to show me the Morse code on here, but you could listen to it.
49er22 contact Indianapolis Center on 120.65. Good day. Cessna 1 Bravo Charlie
yes, sir.
contact Indianapolis Center on 120.65. Good day.
120.65 Endeavor 49er22. Goodbye.
065, that's why. Alright, 065 instead of 65. That will do it.
Indianapolis Center Endeavor 49er22 flight level 350.
Endeavor 49er22 Indianapolis Center radar contact. Continue to Mike India Echo.
I'm trying to pick up nav 2 here. Trying to get the Morse code off that. See if it comes up. Oh, don't put out the spoilers, please. Thank you. I don't know if you can change nav source and not have it go off the nav source. So say, for example, I wanted to go to MIE. I could go to nav source, and I could, let's see if I can change my course here. I could run like this, and you see, as long as the needle's straight, we'd run on the course. But keep it on FMS. So here's that VOR that I just put in, so I can overlay. I can overlay 2 of them here. So there's the, that's FMS1, VOR1. So here's the VOR, that's just overlaid on top. Not, I can't spin it. That just points to, that points the VOR. So as we pass, it should probably flip and go behind us. Am I on this side? 14.4? Yeah, I am on this side. See if I can listen on nav 1. There it is. Hear the Morse code? That's the Morse code for that VOR. So you can overlay the VOR as well like that. And this is reversionary stuff here, so like if I were to lose, let's say this panel dies, I can go put it here because that's more important information. And then I could put the engine instruments there, so like if I lost this page, I could always just dupe it over there. But that's all. If you lose a panel, you want to be able to still be able to navigate, still be able to operate the airplane. So plenty of redundancies. All right, we're making our turn here in a second. Are we on? Let's see. It kicked me off a nav. And the needle just went behind us on the VOR there. What's VHP is going to be another VOR. Yeah, what took us right over the MIE. All right, 16.3. So you see the needle is now pointing behind us because the VOR is behind us now. And then if I go 16.3, now it's pointing towards right to VHP. And we'll listen for it. And there's the Morse code for VHP.
Indianapolis Center Brickyard Tree 556 Heavy is passing flight level 300, descending flight level 280. Brickyard Tree 556 Heavy, Indianapolis Center radar.
We go to the radio page.
Lindbergh 441 Tree Heavy contact Chicago Center on 123.85.
See, it's in there too.
Good day.
So that's, could navigate via the VORs if we wanted to. What else is on this chart here? Let's keep.
123.85 Lindbergh 441 Tree Heavy.
See if there's any ADFs. There's not many ADFs left in the world. After that, these have a range on them too, so you can only pick them up for a certain range. So likely VLA. VLA would be able to pick up VLA when we get
Indianapolis Center for
about
Gear
halfway.
3530 Heavy is at 15,000 feet climbing flight level 230.
I'm gonna see if there was a quick
Gear 3530 Heavy, Indianapolis Center
NDB somewhere.
30.01 radar contact continue.
Doubt there's an NDB somewhere
SkyWest
close.
4076 contact Indianapolis, approach on 124.65. Good day.
So it's nav point. So this is an ADF 394.
124.65, SkyWest 4076. Goodbye. Cessna 1 Bravo Charlie, you are 9 or 8 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 14,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 27
394.
approach via Oscar X-ray India transition. Clear to Oscar X-ray
Try to get this to
India.
point out to that. ADF 2, I think it's ADF 1.
Descend and maintain
Why is this not going
2,600
ADF
feet. Expect
1?
ILS runway 27 approach via Oscar X-ray India transition. Clear to Oscar X-ray India. Cessna 1 Bravo Charlie.
See if I can get this to point out where it's supposed to. 394 is in there now. Alright, so see how this needle is now pointing away from us? If we look at the map. Alright, here we are. That needle is now pointing at the ADF there. So here is, what's that? 385. Right, so the needle should move if I put in a 385. I don't know why it's only running ADF 2, 385.
Endeavour 49er 22 contact Indianapolis Center on 119.55. Good day.
1955. See where it's
Indianapolis Center SkyWest
in front of us.
6189er is passing flight level 210, climbing flight level 220. SkyWest 6189er Indianapolis Center radar contact. Continue to CGRM.
119.55 Endeavour 49er22. Goodbye. Indianapolis Center Endeavour 49er
find one ahead of us.
Level 350.
Endeavour 49er
Right here.
22 Indianapolis Center radar contact.
This one will actually be neat if I can get it in fast enough. 338. Probably can't get it in fast enough. Are we not going to... Let's try... I gotta check this real quick. Stand by. We're going direct there. It's just, it's being funky. That's us right there. That's why. Okay, I was looking at this plane. We're fine. All right, so EY here. EY is 209. So we'll go radio 209er. And then we'll put that in ADF 2, 209. And you notice the needle should now point to the right. If you look here on the course, that's to our right. That needle's pointing to that ADF. Got another one anywhere near? Right here. 266. Should point to the left. There's pointing to the left. It's pointing to this one. And then this one might be, this one's a little bit far away. Let's see, 245. See if that receives. It might be too far away. Nope, it's reading. This is what you do on long flights when you get bored. It's the 407. It's going to reach up here somewhere. That's too far. See, it's not reading it. It's too far away. That's pretty far. Yeah, it's pretty far.
Endeavour 49er 22 traffic is 1 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 370 Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
I'm a-looking.
Endeavour 49er 22 traffic not in sight.
Going past us now over there.
Indianapolis Center Brickyard Tree 556 Heavy is passing flight level 300, descending flight level 280. Brickyard Tree 556 Heavy, Indianapolis Center, radar contact, continue to Lapo.
Let's see, we're about 30 minutes out from St. Louis. Let's start looking. You see, after Akbar, we have top of descent. So let's go ahead and we'll get briefing on the approach here. Alright. Did I not bring it up? I didn't. So what are we doing here for the star? Put it in there. Let's check it. I forget what it is, so I'm going to look it up. We're doing the VLA-2. Okay. VLA-2. Where is it? Right. I don't see it. Huh. VLA-2. Don't see it. Let's grab the ILS 30 left though over here. Don't see the VLA-2. Might be an old approach, or an old arrival rather. Huh. Well, let's go ahead and just look in the airplane and see what it has us doing here. So, 250 and 11,000 feet at Lariat. Expect that. So that's quite a descent. We're at 350. That's 25,000 feet, or 24,000 feet we need to go down in not that much space. We got a little bit of space, but we don't have a ton. That's top of descent should get us down there, but we're gonna have to cook a little bit, so we gotta keep that in mind.
Endeavour 49er 22 contact Indianapolis Center on 132.2.
3, 2, and 2. Yeah. Yeah, most of the population centers in the U.S. are on the coasts, so it's one of the reasons why the radio is pretty quiet.
132.2 Endeavour 49er 22.
We went northeast the whole way. The radio's constant.
Indianapolis Center Endeavour 49er 22 flight level 350.
Endeavour 49er 22.
Shit, turning the wipers. IRL, that break the wiper. Alright, so let's look at... You can see it's starting to come into normal range. Max landing weight for this airplane is 75,100 pounds. As you can see, we're below that, so we are fine on that. Max takeoff weight is 84,500, and then max ramp weight is 85,000 pounds. So say, for example, you had a really snowy day. You're going to taxi out there and sit for a while. You need to de-ice. You need to de-ice, and you're going to have a long ground stop. You taxi out there. You could taxi out with about 500 extra pounds of fuel. I don't know what the APU on the CRJ burns. On the 145, it burns 120 pounds per hour. And you'd likely shut down your engines, so your engines would be on for some of it, burning some fuel. But you'd have to be careful with how much extra fuel you take, because the likelihood is you don't want to have to sit there and burn off 500 pounds of fuel. You know, what would that be? Talking somewhere in the neighborhood of $400, $400, $500 worth of fuel. So you try to, like, if we went out there with 84, I don't know, 700, and we're gonna sit for a long ground stop, we'd burn that off, so it wouldn't be a big deal. And then we need to make sure we're below 84, 500 for landing. I put on too much cargo, I think. but we're all right. All right, I was gonna brief the approach. I don't have that arrival, which is weird. Let me see if I can find it somewhere. What is it? VLA 2. STL VLA 2. I don't know. Screw it. We got all the info we need here. Let's go ahead and brief the actual approach. All right, ILS localizer runway 30 into St. Louis, 111.5. Final approach course is 303. We have 10,679 feet. Touchdown zone elevation is 583 feet. I'm just reading this. We have plenty of visibility. We don't have to worry about that. We have medium intensity lights going in there. Missed approach, climb to 2,100, climbing right, turn to 3,000, direct to the Vortac and hold, continue climb and hold to 3,000. We're not going to do that. We'll just come back and we'll get another approach likely for 30 left or right. See anything here? MSA in the north quadrant is going to be 2,300 feet. MSA in the south quadrant is going to be 2,800. We're going to Moods. Moods is our initial approach fix, so we're going to go into Moods. Go Moods to intercept Fonte rather, above 4,005, 3,005 for Joyce, 2,200 we should get glide slope intercept at Tormey. If we lose glide slope, we'll convert it over to the localizer and we'll just run it as a localizer. We have plenty of visibility for that. Decision height is going to be 783 feet. We have the visibility. We have greater than 200 and greater than a half statute mile. We have 10 statute mile visibility. If we do lose the glide slope, we're going to be going down to an MDA of 1,100 feet. And we have the visibility for that as well. Let's go ahead. I want this diagram.
Indianapolis Center jet links 9017 heavy, flight level 400.
Landing at 30 left. There's the gate. Gate's on our left side. I'm thinking Papa. Let's expect Mike or Papa, depending on where we touch down. But probably Papa. I don't want to get on the brakes too hard. We'll go Papa, and then we'll probably go in Charlie 6. Let's see what gate they ended up at. They ended up at gate A8. So probably Papa, Mike, maybe, but I'm thinking Papa. And then we'll taxi in. Probably... I would say left turn, go in the central line there. So left Papa, left onto Delta, right onto Charlie 6 and into the pad. All right. That's briefed. Expect the descent here soon. We've got coming up on top of descent right there, but we still have another 3 minutes to Akbar, and probably another minute after that, so probably talking 4 minutes till we get to top of descent. All right, so I'm going to go back to radio page here. And because I've been screwing with my radios, both down here and up here, notice it's in manual mode now. All right, so I want to make sure when I go back to auto. If it's not in auto, it will not automatically put in the ILS. What's going to happen is, because I have the ILS loaded in here, you see ILS 30 left's loaded in there. When we get close, the radio page is automatically going to put the ILS in there. And if it's green, that means it's tuned. So it's auto-tuned. I do not have to listen to the beeps and the bops and the boops. I just, as long as it's green, we're auto-tuned. So, like, if you were in a small little general aviation aircraft, you would do what I've been doing, where you pull that radio and you listen to it. So, again, gotta go in here. Let's find something I can tune on 2. Something close, something close. Right here, 245. So 245. Put that in ADF2. Listen to ADF2. You can hear the Morse code. So that's what you'd have to do if you didn't have an auto tune like this. You have to listen to it. Yeah, I'll just put it back in. Leave it in auto there. You see how it's clearing out? So it said in the TAF that St. Louis was going to be 10 statute mile visibility. It doesn't go higher than that. It's not going to say, you know, it might say plus 10 statute mile visibility. It's not going to show 20, because at that point, you know, it's all the same. As there's 10 miles around the airport, it's completely clear, so they don't need to tell you that.
Endeavor 49er22, contact Indianapolis Center on 128 decimal tree.
23 Shia. I don't think the Midwest is Sia. It's kind of a northeast thing.
128 decimal tree Endeavor 49er22. Goodbye. Indianapolis Center Endeavor 49er22 flight level tree 50.
Endeavor 49er22 Indianapolis Center radar contact. Continue to Akbar.
Thank you, Sergeant. Sergeant's been a subscriber on Twitch for 6 months. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much, Sergeant. Thank you much. Sergeant's my top giver of gifted subs. Definitely is. 7.7.
Going to 127 decimal 7 Endeavor
Cat's here.
49er22.
See if he can't hit buttons and screw me up here. Come on, come sit nice. Yeah, that's good, buddy. Put you on
Kansas
the screen
City
for
Center Endeavor 49er22 flight level tree 50.
seeing you here, being my first officer. Buddy, don't touch buttons. Stop, please. Don't touch buttons, please. Thanks. There we go. There's my descent. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to spin this down.
Endeavor 49er22.
We're going to start with some thrust back. 220. Alright, we're getting prepared ahead of time. You got to get ahead of jets. They're too fast to be going slow on some of this. You got to get ahead quickly, over speed and everything else. Now we're going to go VSI and we'll crank that down. Like, I don't know, 2005 to start with. Go up to 3, 5. You know, if you feel like you're going weightless, that's usually they spun that VSI down too fast, or they put it in speed mode and yank the thrust back. You know, try to have a little finesse with it. I'm going to get rid of half bank. We're going to go full bank. Alright, so he actually started me right at the top of descent. That's not bad. Alright, so we're going down to, so we got to figure, are we going to make this at 11,000? Again, I don't have the chart, so I don't know if it's got to be above. I don't think it's going to be at 11,000, but look at the speed, 250 knots. So I can only go 250 knots at Lariat. I'm 7 minutes away. So I'm going to pull my thrust all the way back and get slowing down. I got a little bit of time. I got 7 minutes. But I don't have that much time. And then I want to be around 11,000 feet. So because of that, let's get down a little faster. We're going to be here. We're going to be at 220. I probably don't need to descend this much. Let's go, I don't know, 25. I'll do the math in I'll do the math here in a second. There are a bunch of like little techniques to do it, but I just do it in my head usually. So currently going 400 knots. All right, so you just want to divide that by 6. So we're talking, and then I go a little bit more optimistic so that you make sure you make it. So 7 miles per minute. We're going to be at Lariat in 6 minutes. All right, so we're going to be doing, stand by. Trying to think what I was even trying to do here. So we're going to be at Lariat in 6 minutes. See, I don't have to do that because we have it here. It kind of cheats. You could do it, you're on your own, but we're going to be at Lariat in 6 minutes, and we need to lose, let's see, 19,000 feet in 6 minutes. So we're probably going to have to go somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,500. So let's I'll run it with a calculator right now. 15,000 feet. So that's probably a little bit short. But we're also decelerating. So that number is coming down, and that was my overly conservative estimate. So we'll be all right. All right, so you see we're already slowed down to about 250 knots. I'm going to go ahead and put us into speed mode. And I'm just going to bring that down to 250, so we're ready for that. And I'm going to yank. And so just going to kind of watch this. This purple line shows us when we're going to get there. So
Endeavor 49er 22 contact Kansas City Center on 124.3.
24.3.
Good day.
That's an easy. These spins out in the Midwest are nice.
Going to 124.3 Endeavor 49er 22. Kansas City Center Endeavor 49er 22 is passing flight level 250, descending flight level 220.
Endeavor 49er 22 Kansas City Center radar contact. Continue to Victor Lima Alpha.
So I'm shorting the descent here. We're still going to have about 11,000 feet to go in this area here. So, you know, from VLA to there is going to be 5 minutes. So we have 5 minutes essentially to lose another 11,000 feet. We actually have more time than that, but because as you see, we're going to hit 2.2 before that. So I really don't need too much of a descent rate because I slowed down. If I didn't slow down, we would need a heavier descent rate. So I'm just going to bring the thrust back up, and because we're in speed mode, you notice it's going to trade vertical speed to maintain 250. So I'm just going to push that purple line right to VLA. And it's going to go into altitude cap in a second. Normally, IRL, he would give us the next altitude probably. But, you know, it's the game doesn't know what to do, right? All right, let's start doing our landing speeds here. So let's edit these up. So VREF's 137. All right, so we're going to go to V speeds. We're going to click this till it goes VREF 137. And then we have V2. So that's if we missed and we went around and we lose an engine, we would want to maintain 145 knots. Okay. So those are in.
Endeavor 49er 22, please expedite your descent flight level 220.
He wants us down faster, so we'll give it to him. Oh, very nice, Sergeant. Yes, thank you. Yeah, I need to do like a wall of honor recognition, and I do the recognition page every once in a while. I need to do a better one. Maybe I'll take a screenshot of the 6 months on Twitch. Try to, when I get one of the messages in the chat, I try to post it in the Discord. All right, so now see we're in altitude cap, so no longer is my.
49er 22 descend and maintain 8,000 feet.
There he is, 8,000. He's giving it to us now. The way the game works is the game will give you your altitudes pretty much. The game gives your altitudes late, and so it pretty much waits for you to level off before it gives it.
49er 22, did you hear my last transmission?
Dude, I'm busy, man. I'm flying.
Descend
Only one of me
maintain
here.
8,000 feet Endeavor 49er 22.
8,000. All right, so put speed on 250 knots. And now if you look, we're going to be at 8,000 at Lariat and 250. So you see how it's going past? That's fine, because as long as we make 11,000 there, and it could be above, I don't know, I don't have the chart because it's probably not a current arrival. So we should be good on that, on Lariat there. All right, let's go through the descent checklist. let's go ahead and put in, I think it was, let me look at the chart again. Let's see, touchdown zone elevation's 541. So let's try like 8. So I'm putting the cabin altitude to 8, and so that will depressurize us at 8,000 feet. Make sure the outflow valve's fully open right there. That's about 300 feet above where we're intercepting when we land. So as we get close, it's going to depressurize the airplane around 800 feet. All right, so if you look, we have a discontinuity right here. We go toy, and then we have, we're supposed to be going, what did I put in there for the arrival? I don't want to click on it. The initial approach fix, whatever it is. So I just need to keep an eye on that, where he sends us. So normally at this point he'd give us an altimeter. He's not going to do it because the game's annoying that way. So we'll put the ATIS in on 2, and I'll listen to it.
St. Louis Airport information, Charlie 19000, Southwest 179er, Heavy. 1329er at 1 tree. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 2 tree. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.11.
30.1.
ILS runway 29er, ILS runway tree 0 right, and ILS runway tree 0 left. Kansas City Center on 127. Landing and departing runway 29er, runway tree 0 right, and runway tree 0 left.
You get good at being able to listen to 2 radios at once.
All aircraft read back, hold short instructions. St. Louis Airport information,
Kansas
Charlie
City Center
19000,
Endeavour 4922 is at 15,700 feet, descending 8,000 feet.
Visibility 10. Endeavour 49er 22 Kansas City Center, altimeter tree 0.08, radar contact, continue to Larry. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.11.
So altimeter setting's different because you know, they put that report out once an hour, and so the pressure's gone down a little bit from 3011 to the 3008. All right, so we're just looking for 11. As you can see, we're currently not going to make it. So what we'll do is we'll just fine. It could be an above, but gonna just add a little bit of spoiler there to help get us down a little bit faster. So we want to cross Lariat at, we're going to try to do 11. We'll be close. You know, if I had the chart, it would show if it had a bar above it and below it, mean we have to cross at 11. If it's just below it, means we have to cross at or above. So. All right, so see this toy VNN? I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to get rid of the discontinuity. See, it puts a dashed line, then when I execute it, it fills the line in, so that has us going in there. All right, there's 11,000. As you can see, we're getting ready to cross, and we're 600 feet above. Perfect. I can actually probably get rid of that spoiler now. Yep, we'll make it. And then we'll be at 8,000 right about there. See if that's traffic. Yep, that's traffic on the scope. So if you look right here, you see these two blue diamonds? That's traffic. It tells me the altitude, 9,700 feet. I can't see the other one's covered. All right, so we were at 10,006 when we crossed the point, so we're good there.
Endeavour 49er 22 traffic is 4 o'clock, 4
Yep,
miles at
traffic.
12,700 feet, Airbus A20 in.
Above us.
Report them in sight.
Say
Southwest 179er heavy contact approach on 121.025.
4. It's over here somewhere. Can't see him.
Endeavor 49er 22.
See if you see the
traffic
St.
not
Louis
in sight.
Arch. All right, coming up on 9,000 for 8,000 here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put track IR back on. Get the descent checklist done.
City Center 4 Flight 374 is at flight level
That's
2,
9 for 8,000.
310. 4 Flight 374 Kansas City Center radar contact continue.
All right, landing elevation set, fuel is checked, TCAS is set, radar is going to be off, CAS is good, landing data is set, approach briefing's complete. All right, we're leveling off, so I'm going to put some power back in. Check my seating position here. All right, good.
Endeavor 49er 22 contact approach on 121.025.
21025.
Going to 121.025 Endeavor 49er 22. Approach Endeavor 49er 22 8,000 feet.
Endeavor 49er 22, approach altimeter 30.12 radar contact. Continue to Julius.
I'm going to hang around 250 knots here. Alright, here's our turn. See all the lovely farm country. This is why the radio's so quiet, is population density is pretty low out here. You see we have traffic coming off our left here. See it on the scope right here, and we have one ahead of us. Looking for the one ahead of us. The one behind me is kind of paralleling me. Right there. There he is right there, see him? Okay.
American 831 Heavy, you are 25 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 30.
That is this guy in front of me right here, I would say.
Cleared to TYRSH.
He's at 5,000 feet, so the other guy is above us, so he's not at 5,000 feet. This guy parallel me still. There he is. See him? See how close he is?
Expect ILS runway 30 right approach via TYRSH.
Probably got a traffic alert on him at some point.
Cleared to TYRSH American 831 Heavy.
Now, American does actually have heavies, but do I know if this American plane is a heavy? I do not. See if I can get a number on him. I can actually look up the real flight, so see if he's called. Let's see what they called him. Let's see. American 831.
Endeavor 49er 22, descend and maintain 4,500 feet.
4,005.
Descend and maintain 4,500 feet Endeavor 49er 22.
I can't see the digits here. We'll start it anyway. Grab speed and I'll pull it. Go down to 240 knots here. I don't need to scream in there. I gotta see what that digit says. That's 4.6, so we're as close. 4.5. Alright, 4,005.
Southwest 179er Heavy, you are 1 tree
Southwest doesn't have any heavies.
Contact tower on 118.5 when inbound. Endeavor 49er 22, you are 2 tree miles east. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 30 left approach via Moods transition.
Moods.
Clear to Moods.
Cleared to Moods. Alright. So we're going direct Moods, so I'm going to take Moods. I'm going to move Moods up. I'm going to go direct Moods. Execute back into nav mode. And I always like to see my next waypoint, so I'm going to change the scaling. So moods, as you can see, moods, I should not have done moods. Because see, it's beyond the final approach fix. That's probably coming from the south. You'd want to do moods. Got a guy right next to me. See him right there.
Endeavour 4922, did you copy?
Yeah, I'm busy here.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 30 left approach via Moods transition. Clear to Moods Endeavour for 922.
Alright, there's the city. Let me see if I can see the St. Louis Arch. It's right on the Mississippi. Can't see it yet. St. Louis Arch is somewhere over there. See if I see the field. I can't see the field yet. It's been so long since I've been in St. Louis. Alright, so I'm not actually going to go all the way to moods. I'm going to cut the corner here. Because I would not use moods. Because see, it's more than a 180-degree turn. So I'm going to go to Fonte. We'll turn in now. Alright, let's go to radio page. Radio page. We on auto? We're on auto. 111.5, 111.5. It's checked. We'll keep around 200 knots is good. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on heading.
Approach Brickyard 5601 Heavy is passing.
Brickyard doesn't have any heavies.
4,400 feet, climbing
Heading mode. Alright, we're going to switch over to nav 1.
5601 Heavy approach
303. It doesn't matter. I don't have to put the course in, but it's 30. Was it 303? 303. You don't have to put the course in because the ILS will always show the right course. 303. We have an intercept angle about 45 degrees. I'm going to click approach. You notice it's in heading and approach mode. As soon as we get close to that course, it will switch over and go into approach. There we go. All right, coming into Fonte, I want to go down where.
4922, descend and maintain 3,500 feet.
That's early, 3005. That's an early descent for us.
Descend and maintain 3,500 feet. Endeavour 4922.
All right, let's see if we can see the arch on the way in. The arch is right on the river, so. All right, so see it just grabbed the course. So it's now, notice heading mode's gone and approach is on. Gears coming down. There's the field coming up. I'm looking for the St. Louis Arch. Do a little tour guiding here. All right, what's our speed?
Brickyard 5601 Heavy.
Go a notch of
You are
flaps.
24 miles east. Descend and maintain 4,500 feet. Expect ILS runway 30 left approach.
There's your
via Moods
field.
transition.
I think she cleared us the
Clear to
approach.
Moods.
All right, below 185. Here comes the next 2 notches flaps. We got one coming in there.
Descend and maintain 4,500 feet. Expect
And it's
ILS
grabbing the
runway
glide
30
slope.
left
We got
approach
glide
via
slope,
Moods transition.
intercept
Clear to
right there.
Brickyard 5601 Heavy. Endeavour 4922, you are 1 tree mile southeast of St. Louis. Contact tower on 118.5 when inbound.
Tower on 118.5 Endeavour
No
4922.
notch flaps. That's our runway right there. 30 left. Verify that off the chart. Yep, that's 30 left. The one over to this one over here is runway 29. So it's 30 left, 30 right, and 29. He's on 29. We've got a plane coming in for 30 right. Flaps 45.
Tower Endeavour 49er 2211 miles southeast inbound ILS
You
runway
see the traffic?
30 left approach.
Endeavour 49er 22 tower. Altimeter
slow.
30.13 at 1 tree. Cleared
See if I can
ILS
see.
runway 30 left approach.
Cleared the approach now.
79er heavy contact
I
ground
think
on
it's off to my
101
left. I
decimal
can't see the
075.
St. Louis Arch. Try not to get us too slow here. Trying to see the St. Louis Arch, but I'm also trying to crash. St. Louis Arch right there.
Cleared to land
Alright, you notice we're following traffic right there. And we also have traffic for 29, 30 left there, and so we gotta make sure we're not too fast chewing this guy up in front of us. Let's check performance real quick. I want to see what my VREF's still a 137. Okay. Alright, let's do before landing checklist. Flight attendants advise passenger signs are on, thrust reversers arm, landing gears down, flaps flat, set 45. Before landing checklist complete.
Endeavor 4922 acknowledge last transmission.
Cleared ILS runway 30 left.
I don't know why he's going so slow. Like, I'm cooking in slow to try to give him some space. Because I'm not going around, so I got us a little bit extra slow here. Just trying not to eat this guy's tail up. Alright, we're still waiting on a landing clearance.
Tower Brickyard 5601 Heavy 13 miles east inbound ILS runway 30 left approach. Brickyard 5601 Heavy Tower. Altimeter 30.15, wind tree 12 at 12. Cleared ILS runway 30 left approach.
Alright, we're locked in here.
Endeavor 4922, follow the aircraft on the runway.
Yep.
Wind tree 12 at 12. Caution the Airbus A20N landing runway 29er. Cleared to land runway 30
So our
left.
landing clearance.
Delta 156 heavy
Dude,
turns
give me
into
the landing
taxiway.
clearance.
Delta 156 heavy contact ground on 127.55.
They would give you time to answer, especially a landing clearance as a mandatory readback. They're not going to step on you like that. Alright, autopilot's coming off.
Cleared ILS runway 30
Get
left
trimmed
approach,
up here.
Brickyard 5601 heavy.
Alright.
1000.
This is the first time flying the CRJ-9. I've been flying the 7, so we'll keep that in mind.
127.55, Delta 156 heavy.
We got a little bit of lag coming in, so keep that in mind. We're on glide slope still. We're looking good. This is where the trim becomes a nightmare because I don't have any feeling. Alright, we got a little bit of wind. We're dialed in on speed. I haven't touched the thrust in a while. Alright, we are cleared to land. Landing gears down, 3 green flaps set. Spoilers, reversers are armed. Lights are set. 4-lane check is complete. Clear to land. Alright, we are pretty dialed in. We're a little bit high, but we're on glide slope, so that's fine. We got a pappy. No, we got 2 red pappies. It's just hard to see at this range. We got 2 red pappies. These lights on the side, we want 2 reds, 2 whites. You can see him landing right next to us. That's the guy he warned us of. Well, they warned us of one landing on 29, but we've got one landing on 30 right. We're a little bit high now. Gonna correct. Not too aggressively.
400.
Not too aggressive. Dialed in.
300.
300.
200.
A little bit sync rate E there. Alright, just watching those 2 big white squares. That's what I'm aiming for. Those are the aiming bars, so you aim for them. Pick my nose up a little bit. That's just trim right there.
50. 40. 30.
You fly it all the way down to the runway.
601 heavy, follow the on-short final. Wind tree 12 at 12. Cleared to land runway 30 left.
Thrust reversers are out. 80 knots, thrust
Cleared to
reversers
land
stowed.
runway 30 left, Brickyard 5601
Take the next one.
heavy. Endeavor 49er 22 exit runway when able.
Will do.
Endeavor 49er 22 contact ground on 121.65.
I think this is Mike. Did we made Mike maybe? Did we? That's Delta. I'll look, see what I briefed where I thought we were going to get off.
Endeavor 4922.
No, we made Lima. No, did we? No. We make Lima. I can't see. I can't see what that is over there. That is... What is that? Sierra? Where the... No. Their taxiways are all different. Okay.
Ground Endeavor 4922 request taxi to the gate.
Endeavor 4922 taxi to gate Delta 6 via taxiway November Charlie Delta 5 Delta Mike Charlie.
6.
Taxiing to gate Delta 6 using taxiway
Delta
November
6.
Charlie Delta 5 Delta Mike Charlie Endeavor 4922.
Alright, we're good to taxi here. I just want to see where our gate is here. 6. It says Delta 6, I'm not sure, so let's just... I should put a keybind on for this so I can turn it on and off easily. Where the hell is that? That is... It's all the way down there somewhere. Okay, we'll just leave it on. Alright, APU is spooling up. It's a good landing. So one trick I like to do is like, the way I think of it is, it's not really a trick, it's kind of how I like to touch down is, if you, like when you're trying to go down and you're trying to step down on a ladder and you're kind of reaching for the next rung with your foot, I do that with the wheels. So if you noticed, I was putting in a little bit of wind correction, and then as we got close, what I did was I tipped the wing and I put the wheel that I wanted on the ground. And then I lay the other wheel down. So I always try to land with one wheel first, and then let it kind of put it down. It's letting me select how I want to be on there, and I can make the last correction that I want. So I usually try to pick a wheel, settle the wheel in, and then once I've got a wheel on the ground, I put the other wheel down. Because you've got the... he's bitching at me about something.
Hold position Endeavor 4922.
Endeavor 4922, continue taxi.
Yep.
Roger Endeavor 4922.
I kicked in thrust reversers by accident. Need a little brake here on this turn. I got more angle in my rudder pedals. So often the way they would do this is, you see we have a line on the right and the left, and so generally, I don't know how it is in St. Louis, but a lot of these, the ramps where everybody parks is controlled by either ramp control or the company control. Like if American had the whole, the whole alley, American would run the alley. If it depends on the airport, but sometimes you'll have the airport authority doing it or a specific ramp managers do it. And so you would be off ground and you'd be talking to them. We're right here. Trying to see where the lead-in line is. There's the lead-in line. Okay, good. There we go. You gonna guide me in, or are we just gonna do this myself here, guy? Right, there we go. And engines. Save fuel. There we go. See, we want jetway.
Ground Endeavor 4922. Could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Endeavor 4922, the jetway is going to be connected.
Ladies and gentlemen, the door is open. Please make
Ground
your way
Endeavor
to the exit,
4922.
and make
Could you
sure
please
have
send the
all your
baggage?
personal items and carry-on
Endeavor
baggage.
4922 baggage is on the way.
And we get all the master caution, master warning because all the hydraulics are coming off because we have no system to run it now. Don't do that, you scum. Nose steering goes off.
Ground Endeavor 4922. Could you please send the catering truck?
Endeavor 4922, the catering truck is on the road.
So catering goes in that right door there. Baggage is, there's bunch of baggage places on the CRJ9s. You can see these two are baggage, and then that's baggage in the rear too. So So those are all baggage. Yeah, they're all on the left side there in the 900. Oh, I think all of them on the CRGs are all on the left side, but. And then catering goes in there. The galley is right there. Let's see if I can move around inside a little bit. Get rid of track IR here. Don't know how to go forward backward. Do I have to steer this way? Yeah, okay. Oop, that. Can I go out or not? Maybe I can't go out. I don't know. There's a way I can like free cam around, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I have to go in free cam. I think I have to free cam it. But that was a good flight. Good landing there. A little bit longer of a flight, but cool to get out to St. Louis. I haven't been to St. Louis in a while there. But yep, nice and clear out in the west, and it's kind of been cloudy out east. Most of it because of that storm that happened. That's, you know, the hurricanes kind of brought a bunch of rain and clouds up north, but good flight there. So if you guys liked the video, make sure you like the video. If you guys are new and enjoyed, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.